Hello and welcome to the 16th devlog for our World War I flight simulator called Blue Sky Aces. If you haven't already, you can grab a free demo from the game's Steam page and visit the game's Discord server if you'd like to follow the game's progress more closely. There's links in the description for both. The last month seemed to fly by and I didn't even think that I'd achieved that much, to the point where I was wondering what I was going to talk about. But after reviewing the source control history, I realised just how much good stuff we've actually got done. The big item that most of the work has been centred around is a new test flight mission type, where you can define what type of aircraft you want to fly against, or simply explore the map attacking targets of opportunity. To get to the new mission, I've reworked the mission selection screen to add a mission type selection first, where your options are currently training, single missions and test flights, with the idea that this can be easily extended in the future to support other planned mission types. For the game's demo, there won't be a huge number of missions in each type, and for now some only have a single mission, but the design allows for the addition of much more in the future. For the test flight mission, you'll also get an additional screen which allows you to configure whether you want your aerial victories to count towards your leaderboard scores, as well as toggles for things like unlimited weapons and fuel. There's also a section on the right where you can specify which aircraft you want to see in the mission, and how many of each. You can add as many aircraft as you like, however there will only ever be a maximum of 50 at any one time flying. Probably the first thing you'll notice is that the airfields have changed. They're now much larger and have much more detail. The comically small size of the old airfields was something that people have been complaining about for some time now, so hopefully they now have more realistic proportions. As you look a bit further beyond the airfield structures, you'll start to notice that the forests have also had a big overhaul, and they look even better from the air as they're now much more dense with large blocks and strips instead of lots of sparsely populated individual trees. This change not only looks better but actually performs faster as well, as sending lots of individual trees to the graphics card isn't very efficient. Whereas the new forests are modelled as large blocks or strips, where the inner trees are just the upper part of the canopy and only the outer trees have full details. The next thing you'll notice when the new build is released next month is the changes to the buildings and towns. They're now much larger and contain a lot more buildings and trees, and I'm hoping to improve this further before the next update. The trench models and the details within No Man's Land have also had a facelift, with lots of shell craters covering the ground. I've also flattened out the terrain to make it easier to create long continuous sections of trenches. The traffic system for vehicles and trains has also had a number of fixes made to long-standing issues such as trains that try to derail themselves when passing through stations, only to magically recover on the other side, and vehicles not following the bridge surface properly, and getting stuck at intersections under certain circumstances. The water physics has also been expanded to support rivers and canals. However, there's still much more work to do around adding new bridge models and river sections to enhance the map further. One of the more recent pieces of work involved various minor performance improvements, with the goal of ensuring that the game continued to run well on lower spec hardware, while also allowing me to add more detail to the maps. The traffic system was a big benefactor of these improvements, with the system now able to support twice as many vehicles or running twice as fast as it used to. The main way this was achieved was by limiting how often distant vehicles were updated to ensure that the system performance didn't degrade in a linear fashion relative to the number of vehicles. One of the really surprising gains related to the animation of the aircraft control surfaces. I never would have picked this as a likely bottleneck, as the code is really simple with no complicated maths, and the times for processing individual flight surfaces were tiny. However, their sum total started to add up due to the number of aircraft, and with each having at least 4 surfaces. In the end, it was an easy fix to simply not animate the surfaces for distant aircraft, as it was pretty pointless as they were too far away to see anyway. There are lots of other minor improvements, but the details for most of these start to get pretty dry, so I won't go over them here. The next month the plan is to get a new demo update out, so you can try out the improvements for yourself. Between now and then I'll be doing lots of playtesting and continuing to make minor tweaks to the maps based on what I've learned over the last month. If you'd like to keep up to date with the game's progress, then check out the link in the description to the Discord server where I try to provide daily updates. If you enjoyed this, then please hit the like button. It's a tiny thing, but it really does help the channel out. And click subscribe so you don't miss out on the next update. If you'd like to give the game a try, then check out the link in the description to the game's Steam page where you can play the demo for free. And don't forget to wishlist it so you'll be notified when the game is released. If you've got this far, then thanks for listening, and I'll see you again next time.